I said,
Wicked.
yeah, flip mode.
Flip mode is the greatest.
The greatest.
Knowing as a shorty, I was always told that if I ain't
Here
the
he.
greatest,
Hey, we should
gotta
make
be
a
the greatest
song.
Here
myself.
he.
Come on.
Make a song
Yeah.
and use it for our intro.
Come on. Yeah, baby, what a surprise. Give you something, make it look a roll over your eyes. All my people getting money capitalized. Die, little small guy, we on the rise. Everything I ever touch, platinumized. Full of your quiff, you know we coming all on supplies. Got a big gun and I'ma show you the size.
Yo, welcome back. This is episode 20 of the Dawg Money Sports Show. I go by Money Marvin. I'm sitting here with my boy Big Chubbs. Super Bowl weekend, man.
Well, yeah, man. Hey.
Time for the big dance,
Welcome
man.
back. Welcome back.
Boy, you saw
Man, how was your last 2 weeks? We was gone last week, so how was the last 2 weekends?
You know, man, I got myself a lot of rest, man. I kept a lot of money in my pocket. Actually, I ain't lose no bets in the past few weeks.
Because you ain't bet nothing.
No, I hit a few player props.
Oh, okay.
You know, I had to hit on LeBron yesterday.
Okay,
Pause.
okay. Yeah, pause. That deserves a real pause.
Yeah, they had
Real
it.
pause.
I think they had the over and under on him at 30 points.
30 points. I caught it at 32.5.
Yeah, I caught it at 30.5.
So you must have caught it early in the day.
30.5 plus 100.
I did put $5 down, just $5, just to hope that he got 5 threes in that game. He only ended with 4. I was just like, once I saw that he wasn't like, once he got close to that record, I was just like, yeah, he ain't getting that fifth. It's a wrap. But
You know what irked me about the whole game?
What?
And I knew they was gonna do it because they did it for Drew Brees.
what
The second that he broke the record, the game stops.
let's
like-
go. We're gonna go
we gonna
into
come
that.
back
'cause-
into that?
Yeah, we're gonna go into that because I
Just
do
know
want
it
to.
irked me.
I do want to talk about that. But before we get into that, I want to say welcome back. Thank y'all for tuning in again with us. Last week we were not here. It's been a lot going on in the sports world, basketball, football, WNBA, college. But we're only going to address a few here. And we're going to go ahead and move on into the show. First thing that we want to talk about now, since we already was there, we're going to roll back into LeBron James now being the king of the scorers. He is the all-time scoring leader in the NBA in history, beating out Kareem on yesterday. Tell me that story. Tell them the story, bro.
Bro, I didn't want to bring that up.
You gotta tell them the story. You told me. Tell them the story, man. Tell them the story.
So I'm in the office, man. I'm looking up some I'm looking up some bets, some stuff that I want to put together for a little crazy parlay for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the game on my computer.
Right.
I'm just streaming it. I'm not gonna tell y'all the website because they not finna get no free promo out of me.
Nope.
So I'm streaming it, and like it's coming down to the nitty gritty. I see LeBron at the top of the key, and as he's getting ready to shoot, my screen stops. The stream stops, and I'm looking at all these comments of all these people just pissed off because it happened to everybody that was using the site.
Look.
Bro, everybody's upset, bro. Everybody's screen stopped like this.
You should have took a picture and posted it like, yo.
If I was
this
thinking
is how
about
I
the
remember
show,
history.
that's what I would have did.
This is how I remember the history.
So I actually missed the shot. I just had to refresh it, change the server, and then I saw the celebration. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
I mean, a lot of people posted it online, so you
That's
probably
what
caught it later.
That's what you get for stealing cable.
Looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. And there it is! LeBron stands alone! The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Don't be a thief.
Slap on the wrist.
Man, but into that record,
Shout
that
out to
record
LeBron, though, man.
stood for 39 years. Shout out to the homie LeBron James. 39 years is a big deal regardless of what a lot of people say. You hear a lot of people say, hey, he's been playing 20 years. Okay, so? Kareem played 21. You know what I mean? And Kareem broke that record early, 5 years prior to him retiring, actually. So Kareem was like, let me put a little bit more juice on this so ain't nobody touching that record. I really think that's what he was thinking. Let me put a little more juice on that. Nobody touching this. LeBron, 39 years later, broke his record, and he broke it 150 games?
Yeah, 150 games sooner.
150 games sooner. So that's a big deal, man. And being that LeBron is not a shoot first kind of player, we've never known him to be that shoot first kind of player. He's only won one scoring title his whole career.
Just one?
Just one. So for him to be a pass first guy, he's actually closing in on becoming the third all-time leading assist guy.
Oh, that's what's up.
That just kind of tells you, you know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on that particular achievement there?
I think it's dope, man. We watched this dude have a great career.
Great career.
You know, not in the news for no BS.
Right.
Beautiful family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And does a lot for the community.
Absolutely.
He's trying to be, I mean, he do a lot of extra stuff. Try to be as positive as he possibly can be.
Right.
But, I mean, you know, that shows his character, though.
Absolutely.
The type of dude he is. So, I got nothing bad to say about the boy.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to LeBron James for breaking a monumental record. Like,
I want to know what he's going to end his career with, though.
It's definitely north of 40. North of 40.
40,000.
How many more years do you think he's going to play is the first question.
I can see a solid.
You say about 4, Andrew? 3 or 4?
Good 3.
3. So his son is a senior this year, right? So unless they change, Bronny is a senior this year. So unless they change the rules this offseason that Bronny could be in the NBA this upcoming season, then he has to go play a year in college, which he will. At that point, so now you're talking about one other season. So then at that point, Bronny gets drafted. LeBron say, I'm going wherever he going because he want to play with his son. That's like that Ken Griffey Jr. dynamic right there. It's never happened in the NBA. That'll be dope to happen in the NBA.
It'd be dope for them to have it happen in the NBA.
Absolutely, for them too. So I could see him doing 3 years. I think 3, 4 as a max. At that point, it's like, you know, but
knowing that if he retires today, his legacy pretty much set anyway.
Oh, his legacy been set, and that's the crazy thing. It's been set, and he's definitely gonna pad that. It's absolutely gonna be over 40. So he still has a half a season to go right now. It's definitely gonna be over the 40,000 mark. Do you think that record will ever be broken again?
Yes, but I don't think we'll be alive to see it.
Okay.
If we are alive to see it, we probably wouldn't even be as interested. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got to worry about our blood pressure.
Boy, you better see. Pops, you see that? What I see, boy? I don't see. I don't see nothing. But I will say, man, I think the dopest thing about this whole situation is growing up, you know, a lot of sports has been played. You got to think NBA 75 years, NFL. I can't really tell you how many years the NFL's been in there, but 100 plus I want to say. And MLB, we've seen a lot of great, like us, our era. We've been able to witness a lot of great moments in sports history that are like the backbone of the sports at these points. You know what I mean? We were old enough to watch Jordan get the last shot. You know, see him cross over the homie in Utah.
Did he push him?
He pushed off a little bit. We were able to see LeBron James break that record. We were able to see Kobe Bryant's last game where he put up 60 of them things. It's crazy.
Drew
you
Brees.
know, we were able to see Drew Brees.
Tom Brady
Manning,
gets 7.
Tom Brady gets 7. That's never going to be matched by another quarterback.
Adrian Peterson with the rushing record.
Adrian Peterson. You got Barry Sanders. You got, man, it's
what a time.
You got Usain Bolt. You got a whole lot of crazy.
We also have Michael Johnson,
Mike Tyson. Like we was able to actually appreciate that era. You talking about Floyd Mayweather with the 50. Like, we were able to witness a whole lot of great moments in sports. And so I definitely, as a sports guy, I would say I'm grateful for that. I hope my son and our kids be able to witness that when they get older. To the degree that we've witnessed, I don't see it happening because, like, these dudes are something different. You know what I mean? Something different. We're going to roll on over. Las Vegas Lady Aces signed Candace Parker to help defend that title that they just won. What do you think about that? So you think it's going to be two-peat? Give him a two-peat?
Give him another one.
Give him a two. Give me that two-peat. Give me that two-peat. Give me that two-peat. So what do you think her role is on the team, her impact and her fit with the team?
Well, you know, she a vet, so she coming with some experience.
Yep.
She coming to get them buckets.
Buckets.
Rebounds. Bucket, bro. Rebounds. Yeah, man, she fine too.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, before we get in trouble.
Don't tell. Man, so I love the signing for her to be able to come to Vegas and help build on top of what was established last year and the last couple of years. I think that's amazing, you know.
I like how the city just getting excited about women's basketball.
Absolutely. I love how women's basketball is
them tickets
getting
ain't gonna
bigger.
be cheap no more.
They're not going to be cheap no more, but we're going to be in the building regardless. We're going to be in the building. We're going to be in the building. I'm definitely in the building this year.
Did you go to any games last year?
I wasn't able to get to any games. Most of the games that were going on home game wise was going on when Cameron would have games or practice. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't sacrifice, you know, going to a game when my son has something going on, you know.
And then they playoff games, we was recording.
Absolutely. We was recording. I was able to watch a lot of games on TV, but I'm definitely getting to a game this year.
Yeah, I went to 3 games this year. And the atmosphere was pretty dope. I think the best game we went to, I want to say they was playing Candace Parker.
Okay.
I went to that.
Yeah, it was HBCU.
You went to that game? Okay.
Yeah, it was HBCU night, so it was a black affair and it was beautiful.
Real black. Black on black.
Yeah, man.
Real black.
Yeah,
We're going to roll over to your thoughts on this Kyrie Irving trade to the Mavericks. If you haven't seen, Kyrie Irving is traded to the Mavericks. The Mavericks sent Spencer Dinwiddie, who they received from Brooklyn. Dinwiddie, I'm sorry. They received him from Brooklyn, and he went back to Brooklyn. They're in talks about seeing if they could kind of move him before the trade deadline tomorrow. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. What's your thoughts on Kyrie going to the Mavs? Do you think that impacts their championship run? Or
first off, I'm happy to see Kyrie get out of that toxic situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
They wasn't good to Kyrie. Granted, Kyrie got a lot going on, but I don't think Kyrie had fault for a lot of the stuff that he in the center of. You know,
Right.
He's just a man looking for answers.
Right, absolutely.
And a man with his own opinion.
Absolutely.
And I respect it. Whether or not I agree with it or not, I respect it.
Absolutely.
He's not disrespectful to nobody. But anyway, back into basketball, I don't personally think that that's a great fit because he's too demanding with the basketball. So is Luka. I think Luka needs a facilitator.
Absolutely.
However, I am excited to see how it plays out because, again, I could be wrong, bro.
I think my thoughts are the same as yours. I feel like the fit was kind of similar to what they had with Spencer. Spencer was, to me, a more pass-first kind of guy with Luka there, and he could score when he wanted to. Now, with Kyrie on the floor, who you going to guard? Kyrie, you're going to guard Luka. Luka's already untouchable at this point, putting up 50 points. Like, he could put up 50 and 60 when he want to at this point.
I ain't gonna lie. When I be scrolling, when I see Luka on it, I'm watching that, bro.
Yeah, you watching that. You watching that. Yep. John Morant. Need him to get some other stuff together outside of the sport, but him, John Morant, you got a few young cats in the game that's really starting to take over, especially with the older guys starting to, maneuver and move on out of the way. But I think the time is to see what happens with that Kyrie situation.
They not getting no championship ring, though.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so either. Now we're going to also move on to the last trade that happened actually today. We're recording on a Wednesday, the 8th. The last trade that happened on today was D'Angelo Russell to the Lakers. Westbrook was sent over to Utah, and Minnesota received some scrubs. I mean, some crumbs. So
They traded Westbrook?
yeah, Westbrook's gone, bro.
As of today.
Yeah, they had, but the situation was Westbrook was going to be gone regardless. Between him, AD, and LeBron, they eat up most of the cap space. They're not getting rid of AD, so Westbrook is going to be in that trade package regardless. I personally believe that this is a great trade for them because I've been watching D'Angelo Russell over the last couple of years since he left LA the first time, and he's been progressing. And this year, the boy got a shot. He can shoot the three easy. He can shoot the ball when he wants to. He plays defense really well. So I think the fit for him to be there is really well and then they included Malik Beasley in that trade as well, who can come off the bench and give you 13, 14, who can give you rebounds. So I believe this is a great trade for the Lakers. Will definitely help in that, trying to get up back into that mid section of the Western Conference run. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
To see D'Angelo Russell come back to Los Angeles, that's pretty good.
Right.
Because he's mature now. When he was with us before, he was young. He did a whole bunch of
Young, dumb, full of cum.
cum.
What they say? Young, dumb, full of cum.
Pause. Pause.
That's the saying.
But time has shown that, man, he's a hell of an athlete. He
Right.
can be useful in our offense. And he playing defense now. So
Absolutely.
as far as Russ going to Utah, it could be a good fit for him too. But Russ used to be one of my favorite players back in the day. But as soon as he put on that purple and gold,
It wasn't a good fit from the jump, though. So that was
the chemistry was never going to be right for his skill set.
his skill set doesn't match LeBron's and AD's. He's also a ball dominant kind of guy.
Yeah.
That he has to have the ball to facilitate and to get his. So and the game flows better with him getting his and then facilitating.
Yeah, he got to. You got to get the ball, stay in rhythm, and
Absolutely.
see how it go.
Absolutely.
But I was a walking triple-double at one point in his career.
I will give him, once they send him to the bench, he was great off the bench. He was on pace to win 6th Man of the Year to me, coming off the bench. So we'll see what happens with this trade, how this really pans out. The Lakers
come off the bench again.
It just depends. It depends on, because Utah's thinking about keeping him, and then they're also thinking about shipping him out or paying out the remainder of his contract.
I've been
and then letting
on
him go
Twitter
where he wanna
looking
go.
at some things, and people are suggesting that if they do buy out his contract, that the Clippers might get at him.
How do you think that fit will work?
I have no idea, but I don't want to see it. I don't want to play with it.
I definitely don't want to see that.
I actually don't think it'll work out
I don't either.
as far as like them going on a championship run, unless he comes off the bench.
And that's the thing. He would have to come off the bench
to.
because he's a ball-dominant guy, and you have Kawhi Leonard, who has to have the ball a little bit. Not always, but he does have to have the ball in his hand. Mm-hmm. And you have Paul George, who will need the ball in his hand. If you watch how they've been playing lately, you getting Paul George, you getting Kawhi Leonard, and you get a little bit of dose of everybody else.
Right.
Where does he fit in that?
Giving up John Wall.
John Wall's still coming off the bench, but he's been hurt a lot. And I think that's just a little bit of that, being off for almost 2 years. You know what I mean? Your body ain't equipped to just be off for 2 years from a sport and just come back and think you could just handle everything. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with everything from this trade here.
And Mike Conley, he's going to Minnesota, right?
I want to say I don't remember them saying that he actually went.
Trade.
So we got to go back to the details on that trade
And it's
just to finalize.
It's a fresh trade, so
yeah, it's super
all
fresh.
the details not even fully out yet. So.
Absolutely. So, and then we want to roll on over into football, the football news here. Just real quick, Tom Brady retiring for good. Most people know that. Tom Brady's impact on the game, 7 rings, enough said. You have AJ Green retiring after 12 seasons. Do you think that AJ Green was Cincinnati's best receiver?
No.
Okay, who do you give that to?
No.
With
All time or just
all time? Ocho Cinco to me, man.
I'm gonna have to say Ocho Cinco. Actually, I'm gonna say Chad Johnson.
Chad Johnson.
Mama named him Chad Johnson. I'm gonna call him Chad Johnson.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Chad Johnson. Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson. Hey, Chad Johnson. Hey, so real quick, Hall of Famer, yes or no? AJ Brown. I
No.
mean AJ Green.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
no. You know what? With
Great
AJ,
athlete, but no.
Great couple of years in Cincinnati. Real consistent. Once he got hurt, it went downhill from there.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that will be the only thing keeping him from
yeah,
having a chance of putting up Hall of Fame stats. So
absolutely. Coming out of Georgia, he was actually, to me, I feel like he was one of those
I
younger
thought he was
cats
gonna be the next
that
Randy
came
Moss.
out of Georgia and he was on pace to be great. Like, he was really great when he was doing great.
cold.
But that injury, man, injuries do something different to you, man.
Ice up, son.
Ice up it. Can't make the club in the tub. Real quick, Aaron Rodgers. Don't really want to be on him long. He's going on the darkness before he decides his NFL future. Personally, I wish he would just go ahead and get away. Like, just retire, bro. Just retire.
I just hate the
get out
fact that
stop dragging this out every year.
I hate
Just
the fact
retire.
that with nothing to talk about, people find a way to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Man, just retire.
Just retire, bro, or just play.
Play or retire.
Stop, like, I'm tired of the cliffhangers, bro.
And personally, a lot of people, and the only reason why I'm bringing up Aaron Rodgers is because a lot of people don't feel like he's going to stay in Green Bay. I feel like Green Bay is ready to kick that door open and let him walk so that Jordan Love can get his time.
They've been ready to do that when they drafted Jordan Love.
They should have let him walk last year instead of giving him, I don't know who greenlit that contract there, but they should have let him walk last year. The only thing that I think it'll be okay for the Raiders to get him, because that's where they keep trying to pin him at, Devontae Adams situation. However, I feel like the Raiders are in a place where they need to stop chasing, because I don't feel like they're a championship squad in the making right as they are right now.
Nah, they
they
gotta
need
build,
too much defensively, offensively to make that really work. Will having an Aaron Rodgers help you out? Absolutely. But then how do you pay Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, you're not gonna keep both.
How do you pay Josh Jacobs? I do feel like for the Raiders, they need to just let him go where he gonna go. Go ahead and draft a QB, one of these young cats, and bring him up.
And there's some good QBs in this draft, bro.
It's a lot, and we're gonna discuss that down the line.
Off the top of your head, do you know where the Raiders are in the draft?
I want to say pick 3 or.
Oh, and they can get a good QB too.
I want to say maybe pick. They're top 5. No, top 10 for sure. They're top 10. Let me see real quick. Draft order, real quick. We looking at the Raiders. They are actually at pick 7. So they have the ability to move up. I mean, it's about 3 really good quarterbacks that I would take in that top 5. That top 5 selection. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll go through a lot of this later on.
We'll discuss that
once
on
this
another
is done.
episode.
But yeah,
we're gonna get into that.
We gotta go back to that later on. But please don't bring him to LA. Please don't bring him to Vegas if we don't necessarily need it. That's our secondary team now.
What?
We gotta root for the home team.
Bitch, what?
It's Vegas. To finalize the
My
news,
secondary team is the Bengals.
Come on, man. To finalize the news, Denver hired Sean Payton as the head coach. We're going to dive into this stuff later on in the offseason. Payton's
I like that for
hired
Russell Wilson too, though.
Yeah, that was a good hire. Panthers hired Frank Reich as the head coach. Houston hired DeMeco Ryans as the head coach. So shout out to DeMeco Ryans for getting out of the 49ers camp and actually becoming a head coach. That's real big right there.
Shout out to that brother.
Yeah. Outside of that, the last head coaching position I believe is open is in Arizona. The news that I keep hearing is that a lot of these head coaching candidates do not really care for Kyler Murray's contract. So,
That's the only reason why that is still a vacancy for that position.
right, because and I think that says a lot about, what they think about him, because obviously they can't say what they think, being that they've never been in, they can't say what they know. They can only say what they think about him.
Only thing is that his skill set was pretty much built for the type of offense that Kingsbury had.
Absolutely.
So, with him not being there,
what do? But you just paid him.
You just paid
big
him.
time. So you got to take him on. So that's it on the news. We're going to go ahead and kick it over to the main event.
Hold on, I did want to bring up one thing.
What one thing?
Eric Bieniemy has interviewed 15 times for a head coaching position.
You said how many?
15.
15
interviews.
He's been on 15 interviews?
15 interviews.
I don't understand why he hasn't.
And the main thing is they say he's not the play caller in his offense.
What does that matter?
So they don't. That's their excuse. They don't want to give him a shot because Andy Reid is a play caller out there in Kansas City.
So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. He's not the play caller in the offense, right? How many times have they allowed others that haven't had any of that type of, any of that type of experience to become a head coach, and they say because he's not a play caller
Every year.
You think about it.
That's the excuse they're using on him, and it sucks. But you know what it really is.
Yeah, we know what it is, man. I don't even want to get into that.
I ain't gonna talk about it because it's Black History Month.
We ain't.
You're gonna relegate my history to a month?
Okay, black on black, my thoughts so black, I'm black, my skin is so black, I'm rocking that.
Go down that rabbit hole right now.
We know what's up.
We know what's up. We're gonna get into the main event. We talking Super Bowl 57. Super Bowl 57. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Arizona. Both teams has been in Arizona this week. Arizona expected. The weather-wise has been about 69s to 70s. So they in the good weather out there, practicing, getting ready for this game.
That stadium pretty much closed off anyway, though.
Yeah, it's in the inside. It's in the dome, so it's all good. But hydration is key this week.
Hello, somebody.
Especially coming from playing two games. Both of those teams actually came from playing in cold weather. Both of their games before were pretty low scoring compared to what they normally would do. I guess you would say not necessarily Philly because they was blowing people out left and right. But we're going to dive into that. So with this, first let's talk about Kansas City and the Eagles. What do you expect game plan wise from both teams? Let's start with Kansas City.
Kansas City, you have to spread the ball around.
Okay,
as far as the offense.
So are these, and let's clarify. So are you giving me your keys to success for Kansas City? Their keys to try to win the game?
I'm giving you a lot.
Okay. Okay. I feel the confidence today.
I seen the over under on how many receivers he's gonna have is like around 4.5.
I
like that over.
Oh yeah, he's spreading the ball.
He's gonna spread that.
He's spreading the ball.
But
Pause. Pause what?
good one. But get your running game going. You know what I'm saying? You got Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah,
he's activated from the injured reserve.
Right.
But McKinnon just so happened to be on injured reserve now, so he won't be active.
Is McKinnon on injured reserve?
Yeah.
Or McCole Hartman too? Both of them probably.
Oh, I forgot about Hartman. But yeah, get the running game going, spread the ball, protect your quarterback. He may seem healthy, but I already know how them high ankle sprains be, man. It take a long time to really heal.
Absolutely.
As far as the Kansas City defense, you have to stop the rush. You have to make Jalen Hurts throw the ball.
Okay.
If you make Jalen Hurts throw the ball, you have a real chance.
Okay.
As far as the Eagles, offensively, don't let them stop the run. Because if they stop the run, I'm not saying that the passing attack isn't crazy, but if you force the pass, it might be a long day for Philadelphia.
Right, absolutely.
Now, as far as that defense, you have to touch Mahomes. You have to touch that man. You got to touch him like at least 15 times, bro.
Touch.
When you walk in, and you sexy lingerie in the middle of the doorway.
You don't have to necessarily get that man on the ground, but touch him. Let him know that you're coming, Paul.
Absolutely.
Whoa, pause.
Absolutely. Come on, man. All right, we gotta grow up today. Gotta grow up today.
I don't want to grow up.
Gotta grow up today.
I'm still a Toys R Us kid. Man.
And you made some really valid points. So my keys to success as far as each team goes. Kansas City, number one. Kansas City, their keys to success is to try to figure out ways to get the ball to their best player, and that's Travis Kelce. The defense is going to try to take him away. So it's going to be important for them to try to figure out how they can take advantage of what the defense is doing and get him the ball. Number two, I would say field position is everything for them. If you go back and look at the Eagles' last two games in the playoffs against the Giants and against the 49ers, what won them those games, truthfully, was field position. If you look at the box score, nobody stood out. Nobody. And I mean nobody. Like wide receivers, nothing. Jalen Hurts, I want to say last game had 125 passing yards, but they put 38 points on the board because of field position. So it's going to be important for the Kansas City Chiefs to make sure that they are flipping the field every time. A lot of people like to make a lot of comments and say the main excuse that I was hearing from players or people in regards to the 49ers and Eagles game was, oh, they didn't really put a whooping on us like that. Like in football, special teams is just as important as offense and defense. Your special teams will lose you a game.
Hello, somebody.
Your special teams will lose you a game. So, keys for Kansas City, field position. Make the Eagles drive the ball all the way down the field. Flip the field. If you got a punt, flip the field. Because the chance of them driving the ball every single time down the field, it's not really the best outcome for them. They capitalize off the run game, So it's going to be important for them to flip the field. Defense is going to be important for them to limit their mistakes.
Hello, somebody.
They are going to have to force Jalen Hurts to become the thrower. What Philadelphia does best is that they run and then pass. They allow the run game to open up that pass game, and they allow that run game to open up big play abilities from that pass game. So it's going to be important for them to stop the run, per se. They're going to focus in on Jalen Hurts. He's going to get his because they're going to slip up. They're going to have to force, unless they put a spy on him all game. That's the only way that he won't get his, is if you put a spy on him all game. Right. Spy is, for people that don't really listen to football, know football, is somebody that basically is a mirror of him on defense. So they're going to have to put a spy on him if they want to stop him from making big plays. But
they are really going to miss the Honey Badger in this week's game.
Absolutely, because he could have been a great spy.
Yeah.
He would have been a great guy to have everywhere on that field. So defensively for Kansas City, they got to take away the big play. They stop the run. If they stop the run, that limits the big play. You know what I mean? And now you force in Jalen Hurts to come into your game. And I don't know if I do feel like the Eagles have enough on offense as far as weapons-wise to make it happen. However, to play into the Kansas City's game, their game is to pass the ball.
Right.
So if you want to play that kind of game, they haven't showed us all year that they built for that kind of game. If you go down to the stats, I've been doing a little research because I'm trying to figure out, how can I capitalize on this game? Jalen Hurts ran the ball for 760 yards, 13 touchdowns. He rushed the ball 165 times. That's a lot of times.
Yeah.
Miles Sanders, 259 rushing attempts for 1,269 yards, 11 touchdowns.
That boy got that many yards?
Yes, man. I told you last week he was balling. Or 2 weeks ago.
He just wasn't giving me the fantasy points I needed.
You talking about rushing wise, Between Hurts and Sanders, that is 24 touchdowns on the board. Between Hurts and Sanders. Now you throw in Scott's 3 touchdowns and Gainwell's 4 touchdowns. Look at that. That's most of their offense. So as a defense, if I'm Kansas City, I have to stop your offense. Now, you're looking at Jalen Hurts passing the ball. He threw for 3,701 yards, 22 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. However, the tell is how many times he actually threw the ball. He threw the ball 460 times. So their offense is really balanced. If you really think about it, it was a really balanced offense. Now you go flip side, Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 648 times for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So forcing Jalen Hurts to 12 interceptions. So forcing Jalen Hurts to play that kind of game might expose the Eagles.
Right.
Because their defense is really good. However, looking at, like, really taking a look at their schedule, we mentioned the schedule earlier in the season, that Philly actually played the second easiest schedule the whole season.
Yeah.
They actually went through, their hardest opponent would have been the 49ers. However, that field position and that injury, they thrashed them fools. If you go back, I did a little research. Dak Prescott, when we played them, put up 347 on them, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers, before he actually got hurt that game, he threw for 11 to 16, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 of those interceptions was on the receivers, right? So outside of those 2 quarterbacks, the only other notable quarterbacks that they played that could have done really well against them was Kyler Murray, who put up 250 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kirk Cousins, who put up 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He threw the ball 46 times that game. And then you're looking at Jared Goff, who threw the ball 37 for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
What, they put up 35 on Philly?
Yeah, 30. That final score was 38 to 35. So if you're looking at Philly, to me, it's going to be important for them to win the game. It's going to be important for them to stick to their identity, and that is to figure out how to run the ball on these cats. Because I went down real deep into this. Pause. I went deep into it.
Knee deep.
Really? Outside of maybe about 3 to 4 players this year, Kansas City has not really allowed more than 60 yards. Actually, more than about 50 yards on that. So, for anybody out there that's trying to figure out how to figure out an edge in betting, their total yardage over the year, average-wise, what Kansas City allowed rushing was 108.29 yards. Okay? So, if you go through the games, you'll see how it kind of picked up and picked around. So, to me, those are the keys in that game. Do you want to go in and discussing some player props? What do you think? Being that I gave you so much of this information, what are some of your ideas? We only gonna give you a few right now because through the rest of the week,
I'm gonna just give you a few that I'm gonna take.
Right.
I'm gonna take a.
Before you do that, people out there, let me give this announcement. Don't think that you're gonna take $100 and become a millionaire betting Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not.
So many people think that, let me take $100 and I'm gonna bet on the Super Bowl and I'm gonna get rich. Man, if you look at FanDuel and you look at, can I see that packet? This packet is from Westgate.
The old Hilton.
This is a whole packet.
Front and back.
I don't know how many pages this thing has.
It'll tell you at the top.
Oh, it didn't say. It ain't saying. I don't know how many pages that thing is, But what that whole package is saying is that we want all your money. So don't get crazy.
40 pages.
It's 40 pages?
40 pages.
40 pages of prop bets.
For one game.
For one game.
They also have some like props for like the NFL and the NBA games that's going on that day too.
Yes. If you on FanDuel or you on Boyd, don't go wild. Set aside a certain amount of money and don't touch no more than that. You're not going to get rich off of this. Don't think that you're finna become a millionaire. Some people might. If you're on FanDuel, you can do some weird stuff on there. Yeah. However, we making that drive too, so I'm trying to turn the 10 cents into 100,000. I'm gonna do something crazy, huh? But don't go crazy. Now, going back to what you was about to say, what you looking at, probably?
Because you so rudely interrupted.
My bad, dog. I had to get the people some responsibility, some responsible gambling tips. Because at this point, this is just gambling.
Man, we grown. Care about them.
See something, say something. Ain't that what they say?
No snitching.
Snitches get stitches.
Anyway, I was going to take the Machiko touchdown.
Okay.
Anytime. Odds on that is yeah, thank you.
Yep.
I messed that name all the way up.
You always do.
We even. Thibodeau. That's you.
Hey man, you know I don't know how to say that fool.
No, but the odds on him scoring anytime touchdown is at 180.
Okay.
Mahomes anytime touchdown is plus 400.
Plus 400.
That's not him throwing a touchdown pass. That's him scoring a touchdown.
Is it?
Yeah.
For Mahomes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I also like the I like the over, but I still haven't decided which one I want to go with in regards to how many people on the Kansas City Chiefs offense will have a rushing attempt.
Okay.
So the over is minus 140, under is plus 120. Initially, I want to just tackle that plus 120, but you know what? I don't know. But we shall see. I also like the Eagles to score in every quarter.
Yeah.
Every quarter.
So what you're saying is, as far as if you a regular bet, like if you don't plan on taking any of these prop bets or taking too much of the prop bets, what you're saying is take the over.
Yeah, and take the over.
Okay.
Over right now is at
Over the game.
51, if I'm not mistaken.
The over right now, what I'm showing here online, give me 1 second because there's so much up here. The over right now is 50.5. So you need 51 points.
What I say, 51?
Yeah, you need 51 points to win that. And then
that's
spread
FanDuel.
Yeah.
I want to say that William Hill has it at 51 right now.
Okay.
So it varies on depending on what casino you go to.
Yeah.
But it won't vary that much.
Not much. And then right now the Eagles are minus 1.5 point favorites on FanDuel. What is it on William Hill?
1.5.
1.5. Okay, so you're looking at the same money right there. It's not too much difference there. So,
and it's the same odds too, minus 110.
Same odds. Okay.
Yeah. Then for the money line,
plus
Chiefs
104.
plus 105.
Okay.
FanDuel. William Hill.
Okay.
Eagles minus 125 on William Hill, and you have
on FanDuel. I have plus 104 for Kansas City as the underdog money line. Eagles minus 122. So it a lot of people, when you're talking about, a lot of people look at sports as investing. You know, so a lot of bettors out there actually take their time and try to find the best investment, right? So they do all this studying and they say, okay, so if I'm looking at this and I want Kansas City money line, and on FanDuel it's plus 104, on William Hill you said plus 105.
Yeah, 105.
So a lot of people will be like, I'm gonna go on this other website to get that, because to them that one tick makes a difference, you know. Right. So it's a lot of props out there.
Depending on how much money you actually betting,
yeah,
it can mean a lot of money.
It can mean a lot of money. So for me personally, I feel like this game is going to come down to just kind of like when I do my studying, it comes down to just last year. Last year, one of my favorite players for the game was Odell Beckham Jr. I loved Odell Beckham Jr. to have the first touchdown of the game, and that one hit. I actually put him in to win MVP, and I want to say it was like plus 1,000. And if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have got that MVP.
I only took him to have an anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I took anytime first score and him to be MVP.
I bet the safety on every Super Bowl.
You do?
Yeah.
That's pretty smart.
Let me tell you when I didn't.
That's almost like when you play roulette and you don't bet the zero or double zero.
I remember one year, it was the year that the Broncos and the Seahawks went.
Okay.
Me and my boy
you would never
Omar,
expect that.
Omeezy, bro. First play of the game.
You would never expect
We went to the sports book to bet on the safety. We already had our other tickets. We get up there, and everybody's talking about it. Like, man, we ain't finna do this. We about to waste our money. Because I was finna go up there and just put 100 down on the safety.
Right.
First play of the game. Oh, boy, I was hot. But you know what? I actually won so much money in the first half of that game. The second half didn't even mean nothing no more.
And you know what? I like that. I actually like that idea. I never really thought about putting no money on the safety. What is that? Why
plus 800.
Plus 800?
That year was plus 1,000.
Yeah, you might.
I was pissed.
So what he's saying, if you decide to take Marv's advice on taking that plus 800, you put $10 down on that, you're gonna win $80 plus your 10 back. So you coming back with 90 in your pocket. So that's not a terrible investment.
These are the odds at the Westgate. I haven't looked to see what the odds are for FanDuel or for William Hill.
Might be about 10 to 15 points off.
Yeah.
So it's normally not too crazy, not too much of a difference. Now, before we get on out of here, my personal selections as of right now. Did you say AJ Brown anytime touchdown?
No, I didn't.
So the Eagles will need to get A.J. Brown involved in this game, and I believe they will get him involved in this game. Do I believe that he is going to, ball out? He could very well ball out. The last couple of games, he hasn't had a big impact, but the Eagles have also said and showed you. They said earlier in the year that they're not a team that's going to play favorites to trying to target one guy.
And they haven't.
And they've never strayed from that. So being that they never strayed from that, they going to show you. But A.J. Brown was brought over to this team for this moment. Exactly. So because he was brought over to this team for this moment, one of my favorite plays is going to be an A.J. Brown anytime touchdown. For A.J. Brown anytime touchdown right now, that is currently sitting at plus 120.
Dog money,
plus 120.
Oh.
So it's not really
I need that.
You know, a lot of people is going to be like plus 120. If you think that you're going to get rich off of that bet, it's not happening. However, this is a great investment to me. I feel like he hasn't had a playoff touchdown yet. He hasn't had a game that he's went off yet in the playoffs.
That's why it's underdog money.
Yeah, so I like A.J. Brown anytime touchdown.
Expect a big play from A.J. At least one good one. Yes.
Definitely a big play from A.J. Also, one of my favorite plays, and this is a long shot play, just because they would have to kind of be up, and it has to be in the flow of the game. I like Boston Scott, their running back, their third running back at this point, for an anytime touchdown. This is a long shot. You don't necessarily have to take it. I might throw a little, but just maybe $10 on it because it's plus 500. So if I throw $10 on it, I'm getting $50 back plus my 10. So that's one of those long shots. I like to, because I feel like this game is more of a Super Bowl to me is more of a let's have fun. You know what I mean? I'm trying to aim to win a little bit of money.
Right.
But I do want to take some risk so I can see what if I can blow something out the water. You know what I mean?
You gonna do the squares?
I am gonna do the squares, and I'm gonna tell you about the squares in a second. So with two of my other plays that I really like, Kenneth Gainwell. It's nothing crazy. It's a minus 110. So basically, it's just like if you were to go take a regular spread.
I feel like he gonna get one too because he did all.
I feel like Kenneth Gainwell is about to have a game, right? He's gonna have to have a game this game. He is the Philadelphia Eagles receiving back, so he's gonna have a game. They have him reception yards wise right now at 9.5. Oh, I'm sorry, that's his over for his longest catch, 9.5. Over under.
Oh, I'm taking that over.
His longest, like as far as how many yards he's going to get in the game, 11.5 yards. Give me that. Give me that. And then as far as his rushing, it's only at 19.5. I am going to have a lot of money invested in Kenneth Gainwell because I do feel like he's going to have a great game.
He's a sleeper.
And yeah, he's going to have a great game. On the opposite side of that, I will say I like Isaiah Pacheco. I still haven't dove in and see who I like for touchdowns wise on that end, but I like him to cover his 46.5 rushing yards. And I also like Juju Smith-Schuster, 38.5 yards reception for the over, and his receptions, how many catches for 3.5. So Juju was the second leading receiver on the team this year with 100 targets in the regular season. So he's definitely going to be worked in, and he's healthy. He's back practicing. So he's going to be worked in. And just like A.J. Brown, Juju Smith was recruited by Andy Reid saying, hey, you want to win a championship? Come here. You want to win the championship? Come to Death Row. You know what I'm saying? so I
agree.
I we need to put the picture on. I definitely think that Juju Smith goes off this game, and I'm gonna be bold right now. I'm gonna be a little bold right now. They have a long shot play that I'm absolutely going to. This is one of my long shot plays that I was looking at. I'm absolutely going to take this here. It's two of them. You have Juju Smith-Schuster at plus 1,300 for most receiving yards in the game, right? And then you have a Juju Smith-Schuster, first player to get to 20 plus receiving yards, and that's at plus 1,000. So if I put a $10 on either one of those,
one play can make or break you, though.
It could, but I ain't tripping about that. I got other stuff. This is long shot plays,
right?
So this is one of those ones. I'm like,
what's the odds on that one?
The odds on that plus 1,000
okay
on one, plus 1,300 on the other.
No, you got to touch those.
So you some of those. If you're looking to make some money, you got to take a couple of risks, and those are one of the risks I'm looking to take. Before we get on out of here, real quick, Gatorade color. What color you think the Gatorade is gonna be, bro?
I'm gonna go orange, bro.
You going orange?
Yeah, orange is the best tasting Gatorade.
Okay. So me and Janique did a long dive. Me and my wife, we did a long dive going through all the years history.
I sent you a video.
Me and her going with blue and clear.
Yeah.
So clear is plus 1,000.
You've only seen clear with the Patriots, though.
Clear, no, it's been clear with other teams.
All right, well, I gotta go watch that video.
Yeah. So blue or clear is what I'm rolling with.
Orange.
Marv rolling with orange. Who you got to win the game, Marv?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Last week it was the Eagles. Today it's the Chiefs, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel on Sunday.
But you got the over on the game.
I got the over for sure.
Mandrew, blue, clear, orange, red, purple. What's your color? Yellow. What's your color for the Gatorade? Yellow. That's the lowest odds, by the way. Yeah. So Mandrew yellow, me blue or clear, Marv with the orange. Who you got winning the game, Andrew? Philly. Who you got winning the game, Marv?
Still haven't decided, bro. I don't know. It changes every day.
Chiefs. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna go with the Chiefs to win this game.
Let me say this.
I'm personally rooting for Jalen Hurts because
I am rooting for Jalen Hurts.
I really like Jalen Hurts.
I think the Chiefs might really win this game.
I do think the Chiefs will win this game. And that's it for me. That's what you got. Oh, stay tuned. We're going to post a couple of days before, probably Friday, Saturday, and early Sunday. We might throw out the prop bet. So if you're going to go play your thing, your prop bets, your plays before the game start at 3 o'clock on Sunday, make sure you check out our page.
If you plan on signing up for FanDuel this weekend, let me know in advance.
And
so
let me know too.
Free play.
We need some free. You can get some free play. I can get some free play. We going to Hoover Dam to make these plays this week, and that's that. We trying to get this dog money. Mar, what you got to say?
I want y'all to get this dog money with us. Well, you know, like we say every week, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend,
tell
10,
tell 10,
and tell 20,
20
that we getting that
dog money. If you smell that grass, wipe yo.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bet responsibly, drink responsibly. Bet the over.
If you're gonna be drinking at somebody's house, stay there until you're sober. Peace.
Chicks get you till they come. Got a pill when they come, but let us spend a night all night. Cause the E call me a liar.